Mr. DeSantis.
Close a little bit. Get a little closer in.
Act like you would. Good evening. Today, a Fulton County grand jury handed down a 19-count indictment against Robert Aaron Long, resulting from Mr. Long's alleged actions on March 16th, 2021. Specifically, the indictment charges Mr. Long with 4 counts of malice murder and 4 counts of felony murder. These are charges in the alternative for the deaths of Hyun Chung Grant, Soon Chung Park, Soon Cha Kim, and Young A.U. Further, the indictment charges 5 counts of aggravated assault, with 4 of the counts being for the acts committed in the murder charges, plus 1 count for the defendant's alleged acts against Isis Escobar, who survived. Further, this indictment contains 1 count of domestic terrorism, arising from the allegation that the defendant committed the crime of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon when used against these 5 people was intended to intimidate or kill the civilian population. Further, the indictment carries 5 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. I, along with my staff, have made a determination that this office will seek the death penalty. Last year, I told the voters of Fulton County that I could not imagine a circumstance where I would seek it. And at that time, I did not. Unfortunately, a case has arisen in the first few months of my term that I believe warrants the ultimate penalty, and we shall seek it. Further, we have filed a notice that we will seek sentence enhancement pursuant to Georgia's sentencing enhancement statute, commonly referred to as a hate crime statute, based on the race and gender of the victims. This is the first time that the statute has been used in Fulton County, and it is my belief in the state. I am here with the team that I chose to seek an indictment in this case and move us one step closer to justice. Executive District Attorney Michael Carlson, Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love, Chief Senior District Attorney Adam Abadi, and Chief Senior District Attorney Kevin Armstrong. All of these members of my staff have extensive prosecutorial experience in major felonies, including capital cases. I have put some of the most experienced and best attorneys on this case because it is important to every member of our community. They have been closely working with Detective DeMeester of the Atlanta Police Department and other law enforcement agencies in this state, who investigated the case that we put to these grand jurors. Before I close, let me make a couple more important points. First, the defendant in this case, as in all cases, is presumed innocent. The counts in the indictment are allegations at this stage, and it is incumbent upon my office to prove them to a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. Second, the charges we have brought in this case, as well as seeking the death penalty and sentence enhancement based on alleged motivation by bias and or prejudice. Send a message that everyone within this community is valued. We are all equal before the law, whether a victim or a defendant. And this office will work tirelessly every day to uphold that ideal. This prosecution is part of that effort. With that, I am happy to take questions, but please understand that I cannot discuss the specifics of the case beyond explaining what is in the indictment and the notices that we have filed.
The case has not been sent to a grand jury in Cherokee County. What message does this announcement send to that county?
I am actually uncertain as to whether if the grand jury there has sent it or not sent it. I do know that the grand jurors in that county meet twice a month, whereas we have a grand jury that meets 4 times a week.
What can you talk about? What was the turning point for you for wanting to seek the death penalty?
What I can tell you is that most people know I am a trial lawyer. I've been at this for 25 years. Some would say I'm still too active in the prosecution of cases. I have personally reviewed the statement in this case. I have personally walked the crime scene in these cases along with Chief Senior ADA Adam Abadi. I have spent more than 6 hours with the families involved in this case. We have reviewed the evidence, and I am comfortable in the decision that this is an appropriate sentence to seek. Yes, sir.
Can you please walk us through the next steps in this case? What we're likely to see happen next?
So the case will be calendared to what's called a plea and arraignment calendar. At that time, the defendant will have counsel present. He will make a formal announcement as to how he chooses to plead to this indictment and be read the counts, just a standard procedure. And then that judge will likely schedule all next stages. As you know, in all cases of this nature, there will be many, many motions, and those things will start to be scheduled. Obviously, we will have to give the defense the discovery that we have collected, and things of that nature shall go on.
It's been a long time in Fulton County since somebody's tried a death penalty case here. In part, I think because of a natural antipathy toward death penalty convictions, or juries actually sending somebody to death from this county. How will you overcome that, or am I making presumptions about what you're going to find?
This county has given the death penalty, so I think that there is some myths about what our juries will and will not do, and how serious the people in this community take violence. So I do think that it is a sentence that will be considered, but we obviously believe we can do it with the nature of the evidence in this case and presenting it honestly and fairly to a jury.
Clearly, the eyes of the nation are watching this case in particular, especially with all the victims who are involved. What message are you also trying to send by putting these charges toward that system?
The message that I am trying to send, the message that this office is trying to send, is the bedrock of what I believe this office stands for, is that Lady Justice in this community is blind. And if you harm any member of our community, you are going to be held accountable. And so the message that I hope that we are sending is, it does not matter your ethnicity, it does not matter what side of the tracks you come from, it does not matter your wealth, you will be treated as an individual with value.
If I could follow up.
Yes, sir.
You can't talk about the specifics of this case, but have your investigators been able to talk with the suspect and do an interview with him to figure out what his motivations may have been?
The suspect gave a lengthy statement to both the law enforcement in Cherokee County as well as Detective Demeester here of the Atlanta Police Department. So we have been able to review that.
What do you foresee being the biggest hurdle for this trial?
Death penalty cases are never easy. This is a long journey. And so the biggest hurdle will just be having stamina, but some journeys are worth taking.
So the enhancement that the hate crimes statute, if it's a death penalty case and there's a death penalty what is there? It looks like you want to validate the statute through this prosecution. Is that fair?
I think that the statute was validated when the legislature passed it. What I am doing as a prosecutor is using a tool where I think it is appropriate. And I think the facts and the nature of this case made it appropriate to file for that enhancement.
Ma'am, you've been in office a fairly short time. Were you hoping maybe for a little longer honeymoon?
Well, my honeymoon ended, as many of you know, on day one. So we're just doing the best we can and working through all of the issues. But I could not tell you how pleased I am with my office, how pleased things are coming together, and how hard we are working. I am committed to a standard of excellence, and failure is not an option.
That's actually a good question. Like you've got a lot going on right now. How's your staffing looking right now?
We're bringing on people every day. I bring on 12 more employees tomorrow. We have a lot of interest in this office. We're getting some top candidates. I promised the voters when they elected me that I would bring on top talent. I think you see people that stand behind me and stand at other conferences that represent that I am holding true to that ideal. Luckily, because I have been around so long, a lot of lawyers know me. They know my integrity. They know my ethics. And if they come to apply here, they also know how hard I work and how hard I expect them to work. So we're moving forward. Yes, sir.
DA Wells, would you be able to give us an update on the Trump investigation, please?
The Trump investigation is underway, and you know I won't comment further than that. Well, we really appreciate your time. We appreciate the interest that you have in this. We think it is important for our entire community, and we just thank you for being here with us today. Thank you so much.